recording. How I look, beard, face, naturally crooked hairline. Think we're good. What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. My first take, in fact. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As I said, my name is Jason, and I love music. I myself am a songwriter and producer, and I want to use this channel to recap and review albums that have recently dropped. While most of the albums that will be reviewed on this channel are in the hip hop and R&B space, I like multiple genres from pop to alternative as well, and those will be reviewed on this channel as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm excited that you guys made it here for my first review. And what better way to start this channel off than with the review of the new Lil Nas X album, Montero. We all know who Lil Nas X is at this point. Atlanta singer, rapper, songwriter. His rise to fame started at the end of 2018 with his country rap hit, Old Town Road, that also later became a remix with Billy Ray Cyrus. Then with the release of the single Panini and his EP 7, many people still saw Lil Nas X as a one-hit wonder. But come 2021, he releases the singles Montero, Call Me By Your Name, as well as the song Industry Baby with Harlow to be like, oh, one-hit wonder? Okay. With these being the lead-off singles to his new album, I came into this project very excited. In general, Lil Nas X is just someone that I root for because of all the unnecessary hate and criticism that he receives for just being himself, but also liking the singles that he releases. Even from the beginning, I went into this album hoping that I would get that, but also a little deeper, a little more introspection from Lil Nas X about what it's been like to go through what he's going through in this industry, being an openly gay Black musician. I was ready to see how he would maybe discuss and tackle the issues that he's faced. And after listening to this album multiple times, I got that and more. This album is great. It's 15 songs running just over 40 minutes. And ultimately on this album, Nas is speaking on his triumphs and his struggles. Detailing his rise, we also hear about the dark moments that Nas faces when speaking on his sexuality, lack of acceptance from his family and friends, as well as toxic relationships. What I also enjoyed was the different references throughout the album that Lil Nas X makes to coming of age films and kind of how his life and his upcoming was similar to these type of films. And an example of this is the intro track, one of the lead-off singles, Montero, Call Me By Your Name. This ties into the film, the 2017 film, Call Me By Your Name, where the main characters, Elio and Oliver, make a pact in their love to call each other by their name, as it constantly reminds them of how the other person just makes them feel seen, makes them feel beautiful, and feel empowered. On this song, Lil Nas X no longer wants to hide who he is or who he's with. A lyric that stuck out to me was, cocaine and drinking with your friends, you live in the dark, boy, I cannot pretend. This realization that Lil Nas X no longer can hide in the shadows. Like, he knows who he is, he's proud of it, and he wants to share that with the world. I feel like the acoustic-led production on this track was pretty fitting for Lil Nas X, as he's, singing his heart out to the world and to his lover. The next song, Dead Right Now, is simply a song for the doubters. Nas speaks on those in the industry who doubted him, and even his parents, more specifically his mom, where he talks about how his mother's words that she speaks now of positivity and different things, he questions if he even believes what she's saying. As he came out and realized he was gay, his mom would say different things like, God will never forgive you for this lifestyle you live. And that really stuck with Nas X. Like, those type of things, along with the hate that he receives in the industry, those things are dead to him. Like he's not fazed by any of it at all. And I think another interesting thing about this song is, despite the negativity that Nas is speaking on, the production provided by Take a Daytrip has more hope behind it. So in a way, as Nas is speaking about these things, as the momentum picks up with this production, Nas is kind of saying, like, these things happen to me and they could happen to you, but we're gonna be okay at the end of the day. There's hope for us to live this life and be who we are and just to be happy. Next comes the second single from this album, Industry Baby, featuring Harlow. And I think this is a good combination. I love the two on each track. Both people on the rise, industry babies, as they say. Very braggadocious. I have no issue with this track, especially given where both artists are. They're in a position where they're continually growing and rising in the industry, and they want to talk that talk. I also love the horn hits that Take a Day Trip provide production-wise. It really just keeps the energy up. Another high moment on this album for me was the song Scoop, featuring Doja Cat. And Scoop, he's referring to like the daily scoop, whether that's in the newspaper, the trending topic on Twitter. Lil Nas X wants to be the scoop. He wants to be the one that everyone is talking about. And honestly, that is the case when we think about everything going on with Lil Nas X in the media, in the music world right now. I also thought that Doja Cat provided a great performance, energy and attitude per usual. I love her cadence. I will say though, I wish that maybe she was on this track a little bit longer. Seemed like maybe like 8 bars. It was very short. It would have been great to see her really go in for a little bit longer. At this point in the album, we're 6 songs in, and we've gotten out to a very, very energetic start. But then we kind of changed tones with the next songs, One of Me and Lost in the Citadel, which I don't think are bad songs. And I thought it was very exciting to see Lil Nas X collab with Elton John on One of Me. But that complete change from energetic to a little softer kinda wasn't what I was expecting and not really what I wanted. But we pick it right back up with the song $sign Slime featuring the amazing Meg Thee Stallion. Take a Day Trip once again coming in with hard horn hits on this song to signify victory, triumph, and who a better artist to be on this song than Lil Nas X and Megan Thee Stallion. It's just fitting for the both of them, especially Meg being a black woman who's dominating in this male-dominated industry. You know, always seems to receive criticism and hate for what she does, even though she's a great artist. And of course, we know that tragic incident that happened earlier this year with the little dude. What's his name? At this point, as we dive into the final leg of the album, we see a shift in tone with Lil Nas X as he really dives into his emotions and his past on the songs Tales of Dominica and Sun Go Down. Sun Goes Down being a very standout track in my opinion. There's a passage that says, since 10, I've been feeling lonely, had friends, but they was picking on me. Always thinking, why my lips so big, was I too dark? Can they sense my fears? These gay thoughts would always haunt me. I pray God would take it from me, which I thought was a very interesting passage. As Lil Nas X not only is talking about dealing with, realizing who he is in terms of his sexuality, but also, colorism and racism and the self-doubt and feeling insecure about who you are and why you look a certain way. I thought that was really, really interesting that Lil Nas X decided to speak on that. As we see him in the media and when he's moving, he seems much more like a happy, confident person. Like everything that people say about him doesn't move or faze him at all. So to see him kind of dive in to this, it kind of, to me, humanized him more. To kind of see him really talk about dark moments or moments of doubt. Another highlight for me was the song Don't Want It. And this song is the realization that Lil Nas X has made it despite everything he's gone through, despite the struggle, despite the emotions. Like, he's made it here, he's put in the work, and he's accomplished so much. And it's literally just describing what we're seeing right now and all the great moves that he's making in the industry. My biggest gripe though with this song is that I thought it should have been the outro. It felt like it should have been a very victorious end to this album. And while I don't have an issue with the final song featuring a great duo performance with him and Miley Cyrus, the song Am I Dreaming, I just felt like that was a softer song that should have maybe been a little bit before. It kind of had a sad tone to the ending, even though they're both speaking on their struggles and where they came from. Don't Want It, to me, would have been the perfect end to the album. And honestly, that was probably my biggest issue with this album as a whole. The sequencing, having very energetic points that completely shift to much softer emotional tones. The sequencing of the album didn't make this as much of a consistent listen from an album perspective as I would have wanted. All in all though, this record was great. I thoroughly enjoyed this record. Lil Nas X is here to stay. Like, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm personally so happy to see that. I'm like I said, I always root for this guy, and to know that he's putting out great music like this is great, honestly. You know, Boosie, Lil Boosie, he can hate all he wants, you know. I don't know why he's not, you know, rapping these days rather than constantly speaking on somebody almost 20 years younger than him. But hey, do you. You know, the haters, the critics can constantly say what they want in terms of, you know, the agenda and different things that they feel like he's trying to do. Like, they're only keeping Lil Nas X relevant. And even if we discard that, Lil Nas X is keeping himself relevant, especially if he's putting out great music like this. I'm gonna give this album a 7.5 out of 10. Very excited to see where Lil Nas X goes from here. So what did you guys think of the new Lil Nas X album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite tracks? Let's have a conversation down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be posting 3 reviews every week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So thank you guys for joining. My name is Jason. This has been my take. See you next time.